most expensive cake? And what's the most that I made in 1 week and in 1 month of cake decorating? In this video, I'm going to tell you. Hi, it's Karolyn. If you want to learn how to bake and decorate amazing cakes, then I would love for you to join me by hitting subscribe and the bell. So today I'm going to talk about different prices. I did make a pricing video a couple weeks ago, and I will put it up here, and I will also link it in the description. And I told you, how much do I charge for my cakes? I gave you a bunch of different pictures and told you how much I charge, because sometimes we just want to know that, and I feel like not a lot of people share that, and I like to help you guys figure out how much to charge. Now, in those videos, I do talk about the different factors that factor into, does that sound right? The different things that factor into how to price your cakes, location being one of the biggest factors. I live just outside of Philly. Go Phillies, go Eagles. But I live just outside of Philly. I'm in a very populated area, so I'm able to charge a little more than someone who lives in a, and I have to say the word rural area. If you live in a rural area, you may not be able to charge as someone who lives near a big city. And also other factors that go into pricing your cakes is your skill level, the size of the cakes, the detail of the cakes. There are many different factors, so I will link all of my pricing videos below. And just a backstory, I've been making cakes for over 20 years now. And when I first started, and I say this in my videos, I did a lot of free cakes. I did a lot of cakes where I did not charge enough. I did a lot of cakes where I was just practicing and I would give them away. So I built my business and I increased my skill level. And as that happened, I was able to start to charge more. So every year, my income has increased as I got better at making cakes. Now, I'm not making this video to brag. I just want to let you guys know that it is possible. If I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. So as I have stated in other videos, I have gotten really good at a few things. I am really good at icing smooth buttercream cakes. I've been doing that for years. It's something that I was known for. And people came to me because my cakes looked like they were covered in fondant, but they were actually iced in buttercream. I do have videos showing you how I ice smooth buttercream cakes, and I will link that in the description. But not only was I known for my buttercream cakes, I also recently have become really good at making two-dimensional fondant figures. And I have found a couple things that I love to do, and I always say this to you guys: find your thing. Like, I hate making flowers. Flowers drive me insane. That's why I buy them on Amazon. And I don't lie about it. I let people know, but I specialize in really crisp, clean designs and really cool two-dimensional figures. I don't make desserts. Sometimes I do cupcakes, but if I have to make 500 of the same little thing over and over, it drives me crazy. So I don't make like really decorated cupcakes. I don't do macarons, whatever. I don't make them, so I don't say the word right. And I don't do dessert tables. I don't make tiramisu. I don't even specialize in exotic flavors. I don't make black forest cake. You know, there's certain things that I do, and I do them really well, so that's what I stick with. And think about it. A brain surgeon specializes in the brain. He or she makes way more than a general practitioner, a doctor, a family doctor. So if you can find your thing, then you can get really good at it and you are able to charge more for your cakes. All right, so let's start. What was my most expensive cake that I ever made? And I actually made a video on it not too long ago, and I will link it in the description. It was a wedding cake, and it was a $1,600 wedding cake. And I'm trying to remember how much it fed. I'll put the picture over here. It was probably, I'm thinking like 120 to 150. I would have to watch the video again to remember, but it was a pretty detailed design. It was a very heavy cake. It was a lot of fun to make, and a lot of fun to make. And usually wedding cakes end up being my most expensive cakes. And first birthday cakes. People love to go all out for first birthday parties, and I do more first birthday cakes than anything. But making wedding cakes, albeit a little stressful, they can really end up bringing in a lot of money for you. So don't be scared of making wedding cakes. Start small. That's what I did. I'll put over here my first wedding cake that I ever made. And then you see the recent most expensive one that I made. So we all start somewhere. They're not going to be $1,600 wedding cakes to start, but you can get there with some practice. So what is the most that I made in a week with cake decorating? And I will tell you that that is this current week that I'm working on right now. And I am making, wait, I have to look over here. My notes are over here. $3,410 just with cakes. And when I say it out loud, like I can't even believe it. However, since COVID ended, people are starting to order bigger cakes now, and they are bigger and they are more detailed, and in turn, they cost more. So I have about 6 cakes this week. And what's the average? Wait, I have to do math. Around $600 average each did I do that right? But anyway, $3,400 sounds really nice, right? However, I have to let you know that I will be putting in about 65 to 70 hours of work. And I know when I get into a really busy week like this, that I am going to be in my kitchen all day, every day for an entire week, just working. Now it can drive you a little crazy, so I do try to make time to go to the gym. The fall colors are beautiful right now. If I could just go outside and walk or take a break, much needed when you're in the house and working all the time. So there is a trade-off on my busiest weeks. I know that I am just going to be working all the time. And that's okay. I try not to do back-to-back very busy weeks so I can have a little breather in between. And what is the most that I made in 1 month? And that is $11,660. And that was in May. And of course, because May is always the busiest month, May and October end up being the busiest months for me. And also June, but always May. There's communions, starting of graduations and birthdays and weddings, and it's just always the busiest. So that month, when I just said that I don't do back-to-back weeks of very busy weeks, that month I end up doing it. And then I go a little crazy and you don't want to be around me. My mom says that I'm either namaste or namaste away because I can get a little crazy as I get too busy. But while May is always the busiest month, you want to know that there's also an ebb and a flow to this business where I used to freak out before when I got slow, thinking, what the heck is going on? But I know that May, June, and October are my busiest months. And then November is slow. And then in January and February, I hear crickets. Because after the holidays, nobody is spending money on custom cakes. So I try to use that time to develop a new skill. That's when I started my YouTube channel. And now when I get slower, I'm going to look into putting courses together for you guys and getting classes together. So try to use the downtime to your advantage and don't freak out when it gets slow, and know that there is an ebb and flow to the business. And just a note that this money that I'm telling you that I bring in is the money that my business makes. It's not all the money that I keep. So every month I spend between $1,000 and $2,000 on ingredients, on supplies like cake boards, cake boxes, stuff like that, like luster dust and paintbrushes and all that, and office expenses. And it just ends up averaging between $1,000 and $2,000 depending on how busy I am. And then also I put 20 to 25% of that income away in a separate savings account for my taxes. Not all that money is mine, and you can't keep that money. It is just the best practice if you just take that money immediately and set it aside in a separate account for taxes. And I pay my taxes quarterly, and I do have a video talking about how I organize my business and my paperwork, and I will link that also. But I don't have any employees. I prefer to work alone, and I wonder if anyone else thinks this. Nobody else is going to care about your business like you do. Right? And I just have a fear of hiring someone and then people leaving me high and dry. And you can't blame people for getting sick, for having, kids who are sick, or, life situations that happen. So I just prefer to do everything by myself. And I know when I do it myself that it's going to be done correctly and on time. Now, I do have a friend. She does deliver cakes for me occasionally. And my mom, I love her. She does help me with my shopping. So sometimes I send her to Sam's Club and to Target to get all the stuff that I need. So my point in this video is just to let you guys know, again, I'm not trying to brag. I just want to let you know that it is possible. I'm working from home and I'm able to have this kind of income doing something that I love. I've had jobs where like I sold insurance for a while. I used to work at the Gap and I liked it, but it wasn't fun. I didn't look forward to it. But with making cakes, you can be creative and you can work with your hands and you can see what you create. There's like such a sense of pride when you're finished making a cake and you see what you've done. And again, I'm going to link my pricing videos below. Just know your worth. Know that you should charge. You should be able to charge what you want to charge for your cakes. Don't let people talk you down. Don't let people make you feel like you owe them and you owe them free cakes, because you don't. Once you start charging what you're worth, it just makes everything better. You look forward to making cakes. Like if I'm not getting paid to make a cake, if someone's undervaluing me, that cake isn't going to turn out right. So know your worth and just know it all starts in your mindset. Believe that you can and you will. So I hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And you can keep in touch on socials and check out my website. It's listed in the description below as well. And if you want to stick around, you can watch this video next and hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't already. Please like this video if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's cake. Have fun. I will see you on the next one. Bye.